Okay, picture tayo. We stick to the North Division playoff matchups, and for our fifth game, it's the 16 and under. It's game one of the best of three quarterfinal series between the number one seed Bulacan JT Taipan and the number 8 seed Rizal Switch Fiber. We continue the live coverage of the playoffs of the country's premier youth basketball league, the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And we have our games for today. Again, we are in our fifth game. This time it'll be between the undefeated number one seed, the Bulacan JT Taipan, and the underdogs, number 8, Rizal Switch Fiber. So good evening, everybody. The name is Cholo Pangilinan, covering the action with sports writer Ray Hobles. Ray, how do you do?
Hi. Good afternoon to you, Cho.
And before we continue, of course, before we head on to our game, first let's talk about the playoff brackets for our 14 and under division. So let's take a look again. As I've mentioned, Bulacan JT Taipan in the number 1 spot, and number 8 is the Rizal Switch Fiber. So that'll be an interesting.
So it's going to be Rizal Switch Fiber going up against JT Bulacan Taipan.
And that is it for our bracket. So now let's head on to the last match. Let's talk about last match of the Rizal Switch Fiber in the JT Bulacan Taipan, where fortunately Bulacan was able to escape with an 87-79 double lead.
That's it. It's Bulacan going up against Rizal, no? And it's Rizal pulling it over Bulacan 88-77, right? And it's in that game it was Rizal which prevailed with a 55% field goal percentage as against only 42% for Bulacan. On the other hand, the points in the paint, they have 56 as against 46 for Bulacan.
And there you go for our games. And of course, we'll talk about one of the key guys for the JT Bulacan Taipan. First, we have Kian Edison Jordan.
Yeah, and then the Tristan Teok is one of the key players for Rizal with 21 points and 11 rebounds in their previous win against Bulacan.
And there we have it. Again, our key players, Kian Edison Jordan and Tristan Teok for Bulacan and Rizal, respectively. And now let's waste no time further. Let's turn over now to our venue announcer, Mr. Gio Cruz.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Glorietta Park here in Caloocan City. This is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 2, ang Liga ng Bawat Batang Pilipino. This is the 14 under division quarterfinals, Game 1. Best of 3 series between Rizal Switch Fiber and JT Bulacan Taipan. We are live on the official FB page and YouTube channel of the Junior MPBL. Now introducing the starters. First from Rizal Switch Fiber. Starting guard number 11, Jacob Tandilia. Under guard number 13, Tadeus Angeles. At forward number 2, Riley De La Cruz. Under forward number 22, Daryl De La Cruz. And at center number 16, Tristan Teo. Head coach is Raul Benaventura. Assisted by Kelvin Gregorio. Elmer Balahadia. Team manager, Ariel Balahadia. Now let's meet the starters from JT Bulacan Taipan. Starting guard number 1, Dan Bagtas. Under guard number 2, Kyle Espiritu. At forward number 7, John Pangan. Under forward number 13, Mike Baibin. And at center number 10, James Mesa. Head coach is Jerry Lipio. Team manager, Charles Kimpo and Joe Bentay. Our game officials, Alan Paria, Jacob Guiran, and Ronaldo Batango. Junior MPBL Executive Director, Mr. J.R. Navarro. Junior MPBL Commissioner, Mr. Keith Picasso. This is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 2, ang Liga ng Bawat Batang Pilipino.
And our Dorayt Bola ng Pinoy team starters for Bulacan, we have Bagtas, Espiritu, Baybayin, Pangan, Mesa. And for Rizal, we have Delia, Angeles, De La Cruz, both De La Cruz. And then we have Teok for the man at the middle. And again, just to clarify things, JT Bulacan Taipan, the 7th seed, and the Rizal switch Fiber at the 2nd spot of our 14 and under North Division. The first possession of our game number 1 belonging to Rizal, but Tindila will miss that 3-point shot.
The first 3 encounters, we've seen the top seed winning against the lower seeded squads. And let's see if one of those lower ranked teams will be able to pull up a win, beginning with this Bulacan Taipan squad.
Well, that is indeed going to be the case, as 7 and 2. Talking about the battle between 7 and 2 rather, is still very far. You know, it's not like the 5th and the 4th seed,
right,
where anything could still happen.
And in their previous encounter, it was pretty much a tightly fought game until Rizal prevailed 88-77, but mainly because of their field goal shooting, 55%.
And indeed, efficiency has been the strength of that Rizal squad. But Bulacan will try to find a way to counter that, as they were able to get a block courtesy of John Pangan. The possession will still with Rizal switch Fiber. Tendilia thought about the 3. Will pass it to his teammate instead. Still not going in. Still no points for both teams. But Angeles stepping out of bounds, and he'll turn the ball over to Bulacan.
Looking at the bench of Rizal, you can see familiar faces there in the coaching staff. Former PBA players Roel Benaventura and Kelvin Gregorio are there.
First points of the game belonging to the Rizal switch Fiber, courtesy of Tendilia. Almost a steal. That's out of bounds. The possession will go to JT Bulacan Taipan.
You know, Ocho, both these teams love to run, no? Itong mga kupunan na to. 24 fast break points for Rizal in their previous win against Bulacan, which in turn scored 22 points on fast break. So we expect a fast-paced game.
But indeed, visually you can see that the players really lanky, really lengthy.
Yeah.
It's not impossible that they are indeed more than capable of driving down the lane, scooping up and in. At that time, Teok, one of the more bigger guys of this Rizal squad, first free throw is good for him.
Probably the most dominant para rito sa kanilang koponan. No? Si Teok averaging close to double-double, 12.1 points and 8.1 rebounds per game to go along with 2 blocks. But in their previous win against Bulacan, he had 21 points and 11 rebounds.
Meanwhile, possession will go back to the Rizal switch Fiber, as Bulacan still no points in this competition. That's one free throw for Teok, and then that Tendilia fast break a while ago. But that time, 5 points already for him.
Yeah.
It's 6-0. Great start for the Rizal switch Fiber. Meanwhile, the underdogs, Bulacan, trying to make something happen. That's no good. Great defense from Tristan Teok. Finds Angeles in the break.
Oh,
Sorry, missed that time though. De La Cruz will put it back and in.
and with a quick 8-0 run here by Rizal. And they're no slowing down. They're still pressing the backcourt.
Bulacan having a hard time. But they find Pangan, but that's no good for him again.
And again, Teyok, no, with an altering the shot.
Rather, that was James Mesa. As he and Pangan sporting the same haircut. So right now it's an 8-0 start for the Rizal Switch Fiber. Make that 10-0 start.
And I think they have seen enough itong Bulacan.
Yes, Bulacan forced to call a nature spring timeout right here. Still no points in this game for them as we take another look. Tendilia makes it a double-digit lead for Rizal.
Head coach of the Bulacan JT Taipan, Coach Jerry Lipio, hopes for the best in today's game as the Jordan twins will not be able to play today due to their commitment with their mother team. But nonetheless, the team has trained yesterday without the twins, and coach reminded the team to give their best regardless of their presence. Cholo and Ray.
Thank you very much, CJ, for that report. And indeed, that's going to be a big hit for Bulacan JT Taipan. Again, considering you are the 7th seed. So, again, all odds are against you. Then, to make things worse for you, rather, you know, 2 of your best players are not playing.
So, the next man up mentality may be easy to say, but it's easier said than done, no? And let's see if sino sa kanila mag-step up.
As of right now, still, literally no one is stepping up. As still no one is scoring for Bulacan. And Rizal now with a 12-0 start. And we're nearing the 5-minute mark of our first period.
And that's the reason why players of Bulacan are still standing.
And Pangan will miss that first freebie. But still, he has one more chance to finally put Bulacan in the scoring column. And he does. But finally, the Bulacan bench can sit. So Hussein comes in for Bulacan, looking to provide some support. Again, no Kian, both Kian Jordans for Bulacan. Tamayo no good on that jump shot. De La Cruz tried to save it, but possession will go to the JT Taipan.
Malaki-laki rin yung kay Kian Jordan na yun, no? Almost 20 points per game and close to 8 rebounds.
Definitely, you know, a combo guard that can do a bit of everything. Definitely a big loss for the JT Bulacan Taipan. But that's going to be good news for the guys in white. The Rizal Switch Fiber as they continue to be aggressive, but that 3 is no good. Hussein not wasting any time. He will attack, try to drop it, and he does. The first field goal of Bulacan JT Taipan, courtesy of James Mesa. Rizal will turn that ball over as we take another look at that Hussein last minute drop pass to the open James Mesa. Hussein has it, gives it to Baybin. Bulacan, no good for them. Castro tried to chase that basketball, but possession going back to Rizal. It's a 9-point lead for the Rizal Switch Fiber. As Bulacan clearly having struggles, still only 1 field goal made in this first period. Abukot losing it. Great defense coming from Bulacan. Balboa good.
Stop and pop move for Balboa.
So slowly but surely, Bulacan finding their rhythm and their footing in this first period. Meanwhile,
and then a
Abupot
steal.
losing it, and John Pangan will lay it up and in.
And it's not only that they're back in the game, they're also regaining their confidence, no? Itong Bulacan.
You know what they say, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Let's take another look. Great defense again coming from number 7, Pangan. And then not screwing that layup. 14 seconds to shoot for the Rizal switch fiber. Another great defensive stop from Bulacan, and possession will remain with Rizal. 13 to shoot for them. Tamayo, that's short. They try to get it back, but great box out from Bulacan. Hussein asking for it, and he will get it. They will set up a play. Hussein, the crossover, the sidestep, try to drop it, but great defense from Tamayo. Alejandro brings it down. They're up by 5. Alejandro, no good that shot. One more try, still not falling. Third time's not the charm for them, but they will retain possession.
You have to love the activity of Rizal, no, in crashing the board. And they have several chances along the way, but still they get ball possession.
Tamayo gets it. He's in the paint. That's no good. Great defense once again from Bulacan. Oh, the fast break. They're able to draw a foul as that was Espiritu. So both teams now with 2 fouls. Bulacan now another chance to make something happen. Paulino has it. Espiritu to the corner. Balboa for 3. That's no good. Rebound by Rizal. Great passing from them in transition. Tamayo, nowhere to go. Getting called for a travel. So far, leading the charge for Rizal is Tendilia with 7 points, but currently he's not in the court right now.
Pretty much a low-scoring game we're seeing so far.
No good from Espiritu. Castro tried the offensive board.
And passing it to me.
Could have taken that shot, Sir. But right now, we just have under a minute remaining in Chapter 1. 5-point lead for the boys in white. Alejandro, drop pass to Tamayo. That's no good. One more try, still not falling. Great interior defense from Bulacan. Meanwhile, great transition defense from Rizal. So Bulacan will get another possession as they have 20 to shoot. Espiritu triggers the inbound, finds Paulino. Great defense from Tamayo. Espiritu gets it back, but he'll turn the ball over.
And the size advantage of Rizal is giving Bulacan problems inside the floor.
So Mayor has it for Rizal. Just entered the ball game. The attack. That's going to be 2 freebies coming up for John Reliora. 10.7 seconds remaining. A chance for them to extend the lead before we end the first period. The first one is good for Reliora. Second one on its way. That's no good. They get it back. Tamayo, offensive board. No good on that baby hook. Bulacan on a rush. Espiritu drops it to Castro. But he literally drops the basketball. And that'll be it of our first period. 13-7. The results which Fiber up by 6. But still early in this ball game, it's still anyone's ball game, and we'll be returning for the start of our second chapter. Back to the action here for the start of the second period. Again, this is game one of a best-of-3 quarterfinal series between the 7th seed JT Bulacan Taipan and the 2nd seed Rizal Switch Fiber. So far, 6-point lead for Rizal. Balboa has it at the corners. Loses the basketball, but possession will stay with Bulacan. 16 to shoot for them. Balboa receives it. He will fire a 3. That's short. Rebound by Ramos. Rizal trying to make something happen. Mayor to the right side. Ramos for 3. That's money.
Perfectly squared for the basket. And nobody covering him up.
And with that, Rizal now has a 9-point lead. Hussein Mesa has it. He'll choose to step on the brakes, but he will attack. And that's going to be a dribbling violation called. Rizal with a 9-point advantage. Mayor to the left side of the arc. Back to Mayor. 14 on the shot clock. Mayor will attack. Drops it. No good. One more try, still not falling. They get it back. Another try, still no good. And finally the ball with the red shirts. Here comes Bulacan. The attack off the glass, that's no good. Ramos another board. Ramos handling the ball in transition, almost lost it. Sends it to his teammate. Mayor back to Ramos, another 3-point attempt. But that's short. Rebound by Mesa. This time it's Hussein up top. They're down by 9. Paulino, he will attack, he will lose it. Great defense from Ocampo.
I think 4 guys collapsed on him and he was able to lose the basketball.
2 minutes passing by in chapter 2. They pass it around, talking about Rizal, but they will lose it. Another transition opportunity for Bulacan, but looks like they choose to slow it down. Hussein, Balboa, left side. Mesa unable to receive it. Balahaja trying to run for it, but getting fouled on the break. And now we'll be turning it over to CJ Ang for a report.
Head coach of the Rizal Switch Fiber, Coach Roel Buenaventura, is really a man of few words, as the only thing he told me earlier is that he reminded his players to just enjoy the game. Cholo and Ray.
Thank you very much, CJ, for that report. And indeed, you know, ultimately, everything is about, at least almost about, enjoying the game.
Yeah.
If you play with purely pressure, what's the point?
Right.
Hussein up top to the right side of the arc. Hussein has it one more time. The spin. Great move, but he gets fouled, and he'll have 2 opportunities at the line.
May not be the best angle for you to maneuver your way to the basket, but Hussein was able to pick up a foul in that process. So he's now taking 2 from the charity stripe.
Bulacan has been stuck with that 7-point mark for a while. And they continue to be. But Hussein has one more chance to add 1 point to their score. And he does. Lead is cut down to 8. 3 minutes passing by in chapter 2. Couple of sloppy sequences. That's no good. It looks like free throws will be given to James Bound. Take another look at that attack. A chance for Rizal to extend the lead, perhaps double digits. First one is money. Second one on its way for James Bound. 2 out of 2, and it's officially a double-digit lead once again. Bulacan not in a good situation right here. Pangan drops it, gets it back, puts one up. That's going to be another pair of free throws, this time for Mr. Pangan of Bulacan. Let's take another look at that sequence. Again, they are playing with no Jordans. That's going to be a tough hit for them. But right now, they seem to be surviving. As first one is no good for Pangan. 1 out of 2 for Mr. Pangan. The average over 8 points per game during the regular season. Hopefully one of the guys to produce this game again without the Jordans. Meanwhile, Mayor to the left side. The attack. Bound. Overcooked it. Rebound by Baybin. The attack by Espiritu. The sidestep off the glass.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
And these two teams, Rizal and Bulacan, these are also the teams that face each other in the under 16. No? Their elder teammates. And Bulacan was able to prevail earlier on. And let's see if Rizal can manage to avenge the loss of their elder teammates.
Rizal will call a timeout right here. They're up by 7 and will return for more action. Back to the action right here. Again, it's 18-11, 7-point gap in favor of the Rizal Switch Fiber, and they have possession. Tendilia to the left side. They fire for 3. In and out. And Bulacan getting hold of the possession. Baybin against Tendilia. Espiritu has it. He will fire a 3.
Oh!
Needed 3-pointer for Bulacan.
Espiritu using the backboard to sink that 3-point shot. And that was big because it has put Bulacan within 4.
Definitely big.
Oh,
And not to mention, great defensive stop for them as well.
yeah.
Let's take another look in this banked 3-point shot coming from Mr. Espiritu.
This is a golden opportunity for Bulacan to come even closer.
Baybin will fire. That's going to be short. Over 4 minutes remaining in our first half. Tendilia will bring it down. Defense chance being heard. Angeles, that's short. One more try. Still not falling. Rebound by Baybin. Another opportunity for them. Espiritu, the sidestep. Puts one up. That's no good. Rebound by the big guy, Teo.
Oh,
Almost a steal for Bulacan, but De La Cruz recovers. Tristan Teo puts one up. That's no good. One more try. And finally going in for Rizal. Here comes Rizal once again. They almost got the basketball. Mesa keeps it alive for Bulacan. Baybin, no good. Mesa keeps it alive once again.
oh, losing the basketball.
No foul call. Play continues.
Oh, and This is a little bit sloppy for both squads.
Meanwhile, Tendilia will lose it. Possession going to the other side. (22-14), a 6-point gap in favor of Rizal. We have over 3 minutes remaining in our second chapter. Espiritu will trigger the inbound. Finds Pangan, back to Espiritu. Great defensive press from Rizal. Bulacan will cross half court. But Teok able to intercept the passing lanes. But a counter steal coming from Baybin. Pangan behind the back pass. Couple of crazy sequences, but Bulacan gets 2 points.
And then the determination on the part of Bulacan Taipan to cut the lead down to 4.
Back, yes indeed, back to a double possession lead. Rizal, no good on that shot. And as you said, another golden opportunity for Bulacan. Baybin the attack, overcooks it. They will get it back, one more try.
And fishing a foul from the big guy, Teok.
And Bulacan a chance to make this a one-possession game. Let's take another look. A couple of offensive rebounds. And finally, they're able to draw the foul. Baybin first, freebie is good.
No.
Or rather, is no good. But he's been averaging close to 7 points during the regular season. Again, another possible contributor given the absence of both the Jordans. And he'll go 1 out of 2.
I think this is the closest that they have come. No? Now down to a one-possession game. Oh,
Tendilia will have something to say about that. He's the first player to score double figures in this game with 10. Peñaranda to Espiritu, what a pass. So it's back to a 4-point game, still in favor of Rizal. Teok, the spin, the attack. What a move by the big guy.
this guy is really the future of probably the province of Rizal.
Angan.
Oh,
Peñaranda almost lost it. Espiritu keeps it alive. Espiritu tried to drop it off to Peñaranda. It ends up with Rizal. De La Cruz will find his way to the cup. Rizal on a run again, just like in that first period.
and Bulacan is having a difficult time breaking that press.
That'll be the reason why Hussein will come back in.
Yeah.
And Castro, perhaps being told to stop Tristan Teo. Tendilia to the right side. Now to the left side. They fire for 3. That's no good. Hussein the board. High pass, risky pass, but Pangan receives it.
A little bit off timing when he took that shot to Spangan, but nevertheless he was able to pick up a foul.
Bulacan struggling to find some offense, but perhaps will score through the free throw line. First one is good for Pangan. Again, I've mentioned he averaged 8 points during that regular season. He also averaged close to 7 rebounds as well. As he goes 2 out of 2, cuts the lead of Rizal to just 6.
And right now, in the case of Bulacan, they're going to need every point that they could get from almost everybody, just to make up for the absence of Jordan.
Yes,
But
everybody.
but sometimes it helps to a team that has no legitimate threat, which means that they have become more unpredictable.
And let's see if that'll be indeed the case for Bulacan. If they'll use this advantage and make it an advantage.
Oh, and clip on the arm was Espiritu.
That's going to be another chance for Bulacan to cut the lead. And as long as they're making their free throws, they'll be alive in this game. But first one is no good for Espiritu. Averaging close to, or rather averaged close to 13 points per game. Probably the second best, just behind Edison Jordan.
So here comes a 3-2 press. Half-court press being employed by Bulacan.
But Rizal quick to break it. Teo puts one up. That's no good. He tried to get it back. It's out of bounds. Looks like possession will stay with Rizal. And there's only 6.7 seconds remaining in our first half. De La Cruz will trigger the inbound. Tried to find Teo. Hussein on the run. He will scoop it up, and he will scoop it in just at the brink of time.
Right.
Safe to say Bulacan is surviving this game against Rizal. 27-24, only a 3-point lead for the Rizal switch fiber. And we will return for the start of the second half. Once again, this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao Jr. MPBL playoffs.
Mga kaliga, kasama po natin ngayon ng team manager ng Rizal Switch Fiber, Mr. Ariel Balahadia. Sir, how will Rizal maintain this strong performance entering the second half?
Siguro yung aming quickness kanina, halos ang ginagawa namin palitan ng coach 5-5. Sana yung second five namin sana mag-step up kasi yung first five lang namin ng medyo gumagana, kaya medyo sana yung second five namin ma-maintain din ang umiscore para magtuloy-tuloy ang aming lamang.
Sir, meron po ba kayong gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
Unang-una, pinapasalamatan po namin ang aming team owner na si Boss Glenn Anore at ang aking mga kasama coaching staff, si Coach Ruel at Coach Kelvin. At binabati ko rin ang aking mga anak, Alyssa, Arian, Aaron Erad, si Chloe at si Daniel.
Thank you and good luck po sa inyong team, sir. Cholo and Ray.
And at the half, it's 27-24. Again, safe to say Bulacan is surviving this game against the number 2 seed, the Rizal Switch Fiber. And again, no one expected this one. The odds are really against the Bulacan JT Taipan again. The fact that they don't have the Jordans and the fact that they are the 7th seed, you don't really expect them to really put up a fight against this tough of a team that is Rizal Switch Fire, but again, that is not the case.
Yeah, and they're pretty much in this game. I mean, we're able to push the squad to the limit. I'm talking about the Bulacan against Rizal. As we see the numbers, no team was able to hit 30% from the field. No? Makikita natin, napakababa talaga ng kanilang field goal percentage. No? But if there's one thing that has been going for Rizal, it is the rebounding. 27/19. No? And then, three assists per each for both squads, and then the number of turnovers, both of them are pretty much sloppy. 15 turnovers apiece.
Well, if anyone's going to benefit from a low-scoring game, I believe that's Bulacan.
Yeah, that is Bulacan. As long as they can stay in the game, they have a pretty good chance of pulling off an upset win.
And right now, we're just waiting for the start of our second half. And we know what kind of team this Bulacan squad is. Well, they play with heart, and they play hard. Simply put it.
Yes, and so safe of saying that this Bulacan team has nothing to lose. I mean, Much is expected on Rizal being the heavy favorite. But in the case of Bulacan, which is missing two of its key players, I don't think they have something to lose in this game.
And you know, sometimes those kinds of teams, they're the ones that are dangerous.
Yeah,
I mean, you have nothing to lose and you have everything to gain.
right. And in the case of Bulacan, no, and since this is a best of three affair, that you still have a chance to study your opponent and probably get one of those two players on board before the second game.
And that is the beauty of having a series like this. And it's the same format as well for our MPBL playoffs, which is now at the final stage. Again, that's between the Quezon Huskers and the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a 3-point lead for Rizal. They swing it around. Bulacan playing with a different kind of defensive scheme. Meanwhile, that's no good. But Rizal will keep it alive. Alejandro. They try a three-pointer. In and out. And they're unable to get the rebounds, talking about Bulacan. But they get a steal though. And Bagtas, 3-on-1 situation, will draw the foul. So Bulacan a chance to cut the lead to just one for Rizal.
Bulacan making an early substitution as Pangan visibly hurt in that previous play, limping his way back to the bench.
And hopefully it's nothing serious.
Yeah.
Again, they're already short-handed with the absence of both the Jordans. You don't want it. You don't want him as well to be, you know, gone of the game. Balahaja, tough shot. That won't go in.
Over the back foul.
Yes, great box out coming from Castro. So another chance for Bulacan. Perhaps to cut the lead to just one, or to tie the ball game up with a three. Hussein, Bagtas, back to Hussein. At the low post, Bagtas will receive it. They pass it around, ends up with a three-pointer. That's no good. Possession going to the Rizal switch fiber.
Hussein should be more of a threat. No? I mean, he's focused on facilitating the offense, but more than anything else, he should be a threat as well on offense.
Meanwhile, they fire for three. No good. Great hustle coming from Balahaja, but he turns the ball over. Meanwhile, a turnover in the side of Bulacan, and I also noticed that there's no Johan Chongson for them. Another great ball handler for their squad. Probably the reason why Hussein is manning the point guard duties. Meanwhile, Alejandro picks it up. He has nowhere to go. And a steal right here by Espiritu. Great find. Bagtas will finish.
Finishing with the left, drawing the contact and a conversion. So a chance for him to complete a three-point play here.
And more importantly, a chance to tie the ball game up. This pound for pound fit, this foul counted move. And if Rizal doesn't switch things up, no pun intended, you know, they might end up giving a big lead to Bulacan. And again, it's no wonder this is happening because you know what they say, this is where the magic happens, the third period.
Yeah.
Teok, baseline drive, will lose it. But looks like Espiritu getting called for a foul. So we have a deadlock at 27. Ramos triggers the inbound. Tried his teammate in the corner, but that's no good. Teok tried to get it back. They hustle for the basketball. Bodies on the floor. Hussein will grab it. Great hustle for the young kid. Hussein will lose it though. Even better hustle from Ramos. But
And
he won't
missing the-
convert.
Yeah.
But they keep it alive.
And there's going to be an offensive foul, no?
So another golden opportunity for Bulacan to take the lead. Hussein has it. Up top to the right side. Bagdas, he will fire. That's no good. Stay up with the board. This time the attack by Abukot. And Hussein not happy with that call, but our officials on point. As we'll be turning it over to CJ Ang for a report.
Tristan Teok of the Rizal Switch Fiber is excited playing here in the quarterfinals as Coach Roel made some specific plays for him and he is excited to execute them in today's game. For Tristan, their teamwork was what led them to the playoffs, so they will continue to do the same. Cholo and Ray.
Thank you very much, CJ. And I mean, if your team has what, a 6'2", 6'3",
Yeah.
big guy, probably just 14 or below 14 years old, I'm sure you'll make plays for him.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, to get pointers from Ruel Buenaventura, who was also a legend in his own right. He was a member of the Dr. J squad that won the championship and pulled off an upset against an Eric Menk-led Tanduay team in 1998. Then you are definitely in good hands.
Yeah, who better to teach you than Coach Roel?
Yeah.
But this time, Rizal, great hustle from Mabukot. But Balboa were able to get a hold of the basketball. He will send it out. Bagdas drops it. Mesa has nowhere to go. Puts one up.
All of a sudden finding an opening.
And Teok was too preoccupied with that corner space. He forgot that there was no one inside the paint. So another chance for Bulacan to tie the ball game up. And again, that's what you want if you're Bulacan. You know, you don't expect your team to be up by double digits immediately, but what you want to do is to just keep up with your opponent.
Yeah. And then stay in the game and then don't get left behind and put yourself in a good position to win.
That is indeed the markers for Bulacan as Mesa will miss it. And he will miss two actually. But luckily for them, they will retain possession. 13 to shoot. Bagdas triggers it. Balboa being harassed. But he finds his teammate Baybin. Bagdas has it once again. He will fire. That's no good. Bulacan trying to keep it alive, and they do. 7 seconds to shoot. They fire. That's no good. No one chasing for the basketball as possession still with JT Taipan.
I think this is going to be the fourth possession for Bulacan.
And if you're Bulacan, you must be happy, but you will have to make a bucket. Baybin. Balboa to the right side, Bagdas.
Oh,
They weren't aware of the time. Nonetheless, still just a 2-point lead for Rizal. But against a team like Rizal, a second-seeded team, you don't want to make mistakes like those.
right. And right now in the case of Bulacan, they seems to be having problems on who to go to when it comes to offense. But the main concern right now is for them to successively make good stops.
Meanwhile, Kulanay will punish Bulacan for their mistakes.
And then another steal here.
That's what Rizal does best. We saw this during that second period.
Yeah.
Bulacan letting their guard down during those two possessions. They're now down by 6. Baybin will attack, will lose it. Great defense from Mabukot. Mayor will receive it.
Well, Bulacan became more vulnerable to turnovers whenever Hussein is not in the game because there's nobody else bringing the basketball for them.
And again, indeed, someone will have to step up. Talking about ball handling.
And then this guy might be it, Espiritu.
And by being finding a gap in that Rizal defense. And just a 4-point lead for Rizal. If you're Bulacan, you shouldn't panic. And you get the steal as well. Or at least almost got the steal.
And they were able to force an 8-second violation against Rizal.
Indeed. So you don't get the steal, but you force a turnover. Almost the same thing.
Yeah. And that guy, Espiritu, needs to help out in terms of facilitating.
I mean, he is averaging close to 13. So probably not his best strength, but he has no choice. Speaking of, Espiritu will miss that shot. Teo grabs the board. Great defense from Espiritu, intercepting the lanes. But Rizal will have another chance. They're up by 4. However, they don't have fouls to give anymore. They will fire for 3. That's no good. And if you're Bulacan, you must be happy with the fact that the threes of Rizal aren't really going in.
Short breather there for Hussein. They cannot afford to lose him.
And that's what exactly we've been talking about.
Oh.
That's going to be a turnover for Hussein. And again, added responsibility for that young man. 4-point gap in favor of Rizal. Teo, baseline drive. A whistle is blown. A foul will be called.
Teo was able to beat them to the baseline. And that's the reason why the coaching staff called the attention of the players not to shut the door on him, to Teo.
13 foul for Rizal.
Oh.
Teo getting fouled on the act of shooting. And Mesa in disbelief. So Teo will have a chance to extend the lead to 6. First one is no good. Again, if you're Bulacan, you must be happy. Again, we take another look. Mesa clearly fouling him with the act of shooting. Teo will go 0 out of 2. But no box out for Bulacan. At that time, Mesa grabbing the board. Both teams no more fouls to give. Hussein finding Espiritu. In and out. By being hustling for it, they keep it alive. Espiritu, right side of the York. Deep within the corners by Bin. Finds Hussein, right side. 4
Shot
seconds
clock
to
is
shoot.
running.
Espiritu no good. Rebound De La Cruz. Under 30 seconds remaining.
Oh.
And Ramos wasn't paying attention. So Bulacan, another opportunity for them. Perhaps to cut the lead to a more manageable one before we enter the 4th. Shot clock is off.
Good pass.
Indeed. Great find to Baybin.
Going to his left, and then when the defense got attracted and he was able to dish it out at the last second.
Not to mention another great defensive stop for them. Just couldn't hit that Hail Mary. Nonetheless, it's 33-31 at the end of 3 periods. The 7th-seeded underdogs, the JT Bulacan Taipan, is safe to say happy, healthy, and alive in this game. Only a 2-point lead for Rizal as we'll return for more action. Back to the action right here for the start of the fourth and final period. Tendilia not wasting any time. He now has 13 in this game. Has been a little bit quiet during that third period. Nonetheless, he's the leading scorer.
And this guy needs to work more. I'm speaking about Espiritu, who drove strong to the basket.
Espiritu has 10 points, the most in this game on the side of Bulacan. Meanwhile, Tendilia to the other side. Angeles thought about the three, will attack instead. The one-hander, that's money. Suddenly, the tempo of this game increasing. Hussein has nowhere to go, will turn the ball over. At least almost turn the ball over.
They need to help out Espiritu, Hussein, in bringing that basketball.
And Espiritu right there to receive it, but they will turn the ball over. Reliora, in traffic, puts it in against Hussein. And just like that, the lead has ballooned to 7 points, still in favor of the second-seeded Rizal. Switch fiber as we'll take another look. Reliora, fearless drive against Hussein. And will return after this Nature Spring timeout. Back to the action right here, and we're seeing ang Dorayed Bola ng Pinoy, the official basketball of our junior MPBL. Again, it's 40-33, 7-point gap in favor of Rizal. And Hussein having difficulties, possibly because of fatigue. Someone will have to help him out. But they cross half court. They drop it. Great find.
But if there's one thing good about Hussein, it is his ability to create for his teammates. No? Yun ang maganda ng ginagawa niya.
And
traveling call.
so another chance for Bulacan to cut the lead, possibly to just a single possession game. Let's see if that'll be the case. Espiritu, right side of the arc. Shot clock down to 14. Hussein, the crossover.
Nice pass
Great
again.
find. Overcooks it, but good thing Pangan was there.
Right. And Pangan is back in the game. He was limping a while ago. Talking about determination on the part of this kid.
Teok puts one up. That's no good. Baibin will lose it. Tendilia, great hands. The possession still with the Rizal switch fiber. As we'll take another look again. That was a great pass. Mesa fumbled it, but good thing Pangan was there to clean up his teammates' mess. Reliora to the corner. They fire for three. That's money.
And Angeles has delivered back-to-back baskets here.
Hussein, another drop-off. Pangan, though, will fumble that shot.
But again, that pass came from Hussein.
So this time his teammates will have to convert as he's been doing his part. Espiritu hands it off. Hussein up top. Back to Espiritu at the left side. He will fire. That's no good. Baibin tracks down the board. He dives for it. The possession hitting the foot off Baibin. So Rizal will gain possession. So that was a big-time three-pointer for Angeles, giving Rizal a comfortable cushion, at least a little bit comfortable. Teok, no foul call, gets it back. Another try, that's good for Tristan Teok.
Teok too big, too strong out there.
Pangan has nowhere to go. Great defense coming from Ocampo. Three minutes passing by in chapter number 4 as we see that Tristan Teok short stab. That's what he does best. He now has 7 points in this game. Meanwhile, Espiritu getting blocked by Ocampo inside.
Frustration foul given there by Espiritu. The moment after he got blocked.
Tendilia leading all the scorers with 13. Teo,
Oh, traveling.
another unforced error on the side of Rizal. And again, if you're Bulacan, you're happy about that. Espiritu receives it. Risky pass to Baybin, but they receive it nonetheless. Hussein will attack. Traveling violation. A tough break for Hussein as we see Baybin on the floor. A casual, the usual case of cramps for him. As he's been playing almost the whole game. So here comes Rizal. They're up by 8. Angeles one more time. Could have been big. Rebound by Mesa. Hussein brings it down. Directing the offense. Sends it to the left corner. Espiritu. Tough shot.
Yeah.
Doesn't fall. Hussein keeps it alive. Great find to Mesa. But they fumbled that shot again. Meanwhile, Hussein, great hands, puts one up, still not falling for Bulacan. Crazy pass outside, Espiritu has it, the spin, still not falling, but finally a foul is fished.
They're trying everything they can. I'm speaking about Bulacan. And without two of their top gunners, somebody has to step up, and this guy has to be it. Espiritu.
And again, Espiritu averaged close to 13 during the regular season. Right now, he's at 10. Meanwhile, Angeles, back to him. Thought about the 3. The one-hander, no good. Out of bounds, possession will stay with Rizal.
Without Teo on the floor, this is a good opportunity for Bulacan to come even closer. They need to take advantage of his absence.
Rizal having this possession. Ocampo. No one was there to pick him up. So Paulino, that's going to be his second foul. 2 free throws coming up for Ocampo. And Rizal up by 7. First one is no good for Ocampo. Second one on its way. 1 out of 2. Before that trip, Rizal was 6 out of 10. So made that an 8-point lead. Paulino will lose it. Reliora, the bomb, puts one up, puts one in, plus the foul.
Paulino didn't see his teammate wide open there, and that is Castro. And so a turnover there and completed by Rizal.
Pound for pound fitness foul counted move. And even though Hussein was called for that foul, you gotta give him the slack. He's been playing almost the whole game. He's been manning that point guard spot. And during those times, really nothing you could do against fatigue. They're down by double digits again. The worst time to be down by double digits as Espiritu unable to knock down that three. Tendilia. This time it's Ramos. He will attack, sends it out. Reliora for three. That's no good. Castro grabs it. But he's called for a traveling violation. So Bulacan, another error on their side. Not the best time to be committing those. Reliora.
Traveling.
So both teams committing turnovers in the second part of our fourth period. Still plenty of time for Bulacan to make something happen. Espiritu has it. The right side is Baybin, is back in the ball game. The jump shot, that's money for Baybin. Meanwhile, inside Ocampo, the fadeaway overcooks it. Mesa grabs the board. Castro will turn the ball over. And Ramos able to knock down that shot. Another try, still not falling. Castro finally gets a hold of it. Espiritu on a rush. And only down by 8.
Yeah.
He'll be able to fish for a foul. Let's take another look at this Espiritu attack. Try that high pickup. Nonetheless, 2 freebies coming up. A chance to cut the lead to just 6 for the second-seeded Rizal stretch fiber.
18 seconds on the shot clock.
It's going to be a baseline throw-in because it's not in the act of shooting.
Okay, okay. Nonetheless, Bulacan, another chance for them. Espiritu,
Nice
great
pass.
find. But Bagtas just short on that attempt. Tendila, great find. But this time, Rizal will convert. Baybin receives it. He's quickly defended. Great defense. Reliora gets the steal. Counter steal by Bagtas. The attack, the sidestep. What a move coming from Bagtas.
It looks like Espiritu is also suffering from cramps. He's asking to be subbed.
Another steal by Bulacan. Baybin will attack. No foul call, but possession will stay with JT Taipan. So Espiritu will trigger the inbound for Bulacan. But they will turn the ball over immediately.
Several chances along the way, and Bulacan couldn't capitalize.
Meanwhile, luckily for them, Rizal does the exact same thing.
Right.
First, a timeout will be called by the JT Bulacan Taipan. They're only down by 8. And we'll be back for more action after this Nature Spring timeout. Back to the action right here after that Nature Spring timeout. Hussein almost turning the ball over as Bulacan, only down by 8. Great find, but Baybin will lose it. clearly by being already tired. You can see him gassed out during that fast break play. Rizal, a chance to hit the dagger possibly. Angeles for three. No good. Castro unable to receive it, but possession luckily will go to Bulacan. Almost a turnover. Hussein keeps it alive by Bean. Still with them. Espiritu could have been big. But wait a minute, there's going to be a foul. It'll be called on Bulacan. So since they're on the penalty, or rather on the foul limit, their opponents will be taking penalty freebies. So tough situation for Bulacan. Another chance for Rizal to make it a double-digit lead. Good for them. De La Cruz will miss that first one. Second one on its way. It's a 9-point lead. Pangan to Hussein. Stolen by Rizal. Bulacan. Possibly the players of Bulacan, the likes of Hussein, being gassed out already. As we enter the last 2 minutes of this game, Tendilia nowhere to go. Angeles almost lost it. He will fire for a three. No good. Tendilia keeps it alive. The fadeaway overcooks it. Bulacan, a chance still for them to make something happen. And Baibin will get that lay-in. Over a minute remaining in our chapter number 4. 7-point gap. Tendilia will send it out. Ramos for three. That's the dagger.
The knockout blow that Bulacan was waiting for came from this guy, si Ramos.
Knockout blow indeed as Ramos puts his team up by 10. Bulacan on a rush. The pressure building up. Or the pressure already built up.
We expect Bulacan to use Rizal to use much of the time.
But they will get it back. And Rizal, looks like this time they will use their time. Teyok has it. Tendilia will shoot it, still not falling. They get it back. Teyok, another knockout blow. And they make it a 12-point lead now. As the light starting to fade for the Bulacan JT Taipan. So shot clock is off. I think this will do it. Rizal will just burn the time right here. Yes, that is indeed what they are doing. They're just burning the time as they have a 10-point lead, a secure 10-point lead. And there you have it. Game 1 of this quarterfinal series belonging to the Rizal Switch Fiber. Our final score 56-46. And what a game it has been. Props still to Bulacan. Again, being the 7th seed, no Jordans in this game. Their players stepped up. They survived this game, but Rizal just proving to be too much and showing the reason why they are the 2nd seeded team.
And I don't think it's a good what do you call this? It is more of a satisfying win for Rizal, knowing that they are heavily favored in this game to win. But with the kind of victory that they have, we've seen the coaching staff showing their disappointment several times. But nonetheless, they were able to pull up a victory.
Well, you know what they say, a win is a win. And Rizal will take game number 1. And that is our final score again, 56-46. And for our Don Benito's best player of the game, we have Miss CJ Ang to introduce us to him.
Mga kaliga, kasama ko ngayon ang ating player of the game with 13 points and 3 rebounds from the Rizal switch fiber, Jacob Tandilla. Jacob, how important was your defensive effort in winning this game?
Kailangan po namin mag-double effort para po ma-execute ng maganda yung depensa.
Jacob, meron ka bang gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
Binabati ko po si Coach Ariel, si Coach BN, si Coach Kelvin, tsaka po yung kaibigan ko, si Dean Roan, and si Mami po. Ayun lang.
Thank you and congratulations. Jacob, before anything else, we would like to thank our dear sponsor, Don Benito's, for providing a sumptuous Filipino delicacy to our player of the game. Don Benito's, ang pambansang kasava. Cholo and Ray.
Thank you very much, CJ. Again, that is our extreme one-stop shop appliances best player of the game. That is Jacob Tendilla, scoring 13 and propelling his team, the second-seeded Rizal Switch Fiber, into a Game 1 W. And coming up, this time it's a 16 and under division, still a quarterfinals. Game 1, it's between the Quezon City 8-8 Junior Giants and the Junior Mandaluyong Microsmith.
Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na sugod, Junior, MPBL para sa'yo. Ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino, Liga ng bayan na to. Klaro na to, huwag kang sumuko sa gustong gawin. Isang pangarap, isang tagumpay, yeah, gabay at pag-asa ng bayan.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benito's, ang pambansang kasava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, pound for pound fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear.
Red Dynasty, offering comfort Chinese food and overall 5-star experience. Winford Resort and Casino Manila, a luxury integrated resort.
Special thanks to Mayor Along Malapitan and Congressman Dean Asisio for hosting today's games. Maraming salamat.